Hi, everyone, and welcome to Annette Beckham Official. That's me. A few of you may know me who have seen me from the start on social media and YouTube as Asria. But there's been a few changes, my own discoveries, and through what can only be described one of the most, I don't want to use the word healing, but the most transformative, empowering time is the frequency of truth. My book. See, look, there's me. Yes, this neurodivergent 40-odd-year-old woman who's been working on frequency and connections to the the unified field and junk DNA and all that fun stuff has written a 400 and something page, 411 page book. And it has been published. It was out on May the 8th of this year. So I think we're, 8 days in? And it's doing really, really well. So thank you everybody for your love and your support and for buying. So please go and do put a few reviews in there. That would really help me out. Thank you. But going back to reality, going back to the truth, going back to my little marketing thing. The link to where you can purchase it is in the bottom in the description on Amazon. So yes, see that it's even me on the back there. It's quite surreal, but we'll come back to that in a minute. What's in a name? What is in a name? I had the absolute pleasure and honor of last week going on the Oracle of Delphi with the incredible Lady D. So again, I'll put the links below to launch the book and to just have a really, really wonderful chat and conversation about life, the universe, and everything. And then also with on Angel Rock. Again, I'll put the link in the description below with the amazing Lorilei, and hopefully I've said that right for once. Again, I'll put that in the description below, where I do go into this whole change of name and frequency even more. Also, one of my passions, which I never thought I would say this in my life ever, from not necessarily the upbringing, but the troubles I had at school, because in the 80s and 90s, neurodiversity and things like that were never a thing. You were just the one who went into the special classes and things like that. Well, special classes, I'm now a published author, so yay. It's been a journey. It has been a journey. And one of the biggest things for me was I've spoken about authenticity on Dee's show and others. And throughout this whole journey, there was something that just didn't sit right with me. It didn't, everything else was starting to unfold, everything else was starting to come together. Until one day, where it's not even the last piece of the puzzle because we're still exploring and expanding. And because what somebody calls you or that frequency that you align yourself with is so impactful. And this is from personal experience because obviously everyone's born with their first name and surname or middle names and things like that. And again, if you have a look in the link below, is to my Substack where I do blogs. And this is what I was saying earlier is I would never have in a million years thought that one of my absolute passions would be writing now. So at least once a week, I publish on Substack below, but I will also be sharing them on here, which will be in the next video as well. Because there's a lot coming through, sort of channeling transmissions. There's some amazing conversations that I'm now having with people that, in order to for me to process it, I write it or I transcribe it. And then that transcription then goes into sort of writing the rest of it. And that's really where this started. Because again, in the frequency of truth, it was having to understand that everything is. And now I'm slightly going off on a tangent here, and I am going to keep this video very, very short, because it's really just a little personal note from me to say, hi, I'm still here. I would say I'm the same person, but I think there's been a few improvements along the way. Stronger connections, certainly. So, yeah, please feel free to. I said this is completely unscripted, by the way, as you can probably tell. Do go and check out, obviously, the other videos. Please go and check out my Substack with blogs and everything on there, which will go into a bit more about your frequency of your name. But my own personal story started obviously when my mum gave me my first name, and obviously then you have your family name. And it was that I was running away from, because as a kid got picked on. So why would you want certain names? And if you didn't know one side of your family, why would you want that? You can't associate with it. You can't feel into it. It doesn't mean anything. For years, you only knew half of you. You didn't know the other half. And I'm sure many, 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 many people are resonating with this as well. And I think we're at a point where it's not necessarily the label as being a name, it's the name being the frequency. Because even if you look at some of our amazing multidimensional intelligences, that our star family, star beings, a load of those, we are now finding out that they don't necessarily have names as we would call them. It's sound, it's vibration, in order to say they're what we would class as names. So then obviously mine changed, and obviously I got married, obviously, and then divorced a few years ago, and I had double-barreled, etc. But then Asria came along, and wow, that was empowering. It was very empowering for a short time. For a short time. And as I said, I thank her, I honor her, I respect her for where I am, who I am. But that soul that came in was Annette, or is. And the 5-year-old and the 40-something-year-old maybe is even a different person. So I welcome you to look at your name, even the spelling of it. Because then you can go down soul planning, you can go down numerology, you can go down, but all of these wonderful modalities. But at the end of the day, how does it feel for you? And I sat with this for months and months and months. And I said, well, and I introduced myself to people that I'd never met before. And I started introducing myself as Annette again. And that was the biggest breath of fresh air I ever had. And to then put it on a book, now I'm not going to get tearful. was the crowning glory. I mean, everyone does have their nicknames, and even they have their own frequency about them. Trust me, some of mine were quite shit. Again, it's what that frequency is to you, because I mean, you can go down the route of words as spelling, and some people are even shorten their names. It's like William and Bill, or Tom and Thomas, and so on and so forth. So again, it's just really a few minutes to say thank you as well. Thank you to everyone who has bought the book, who has been with me for this whole journey, which is nowhere near at its end. You'll see that with all the next videos coming up, where I share my own personal journey, which is partly in the book as well. I think the first chapter is slightly more of a memoir type scenario, to set the scene, basically, and it will go into a little bit more about sensitivities and a bit more about my history. But then the rest then goes into more detailed about star lineages, about frequency, about fractal antennas, around junk DNA, around unified field, around the collective consciousness, around toroidal fields, around our connectivity to everything. So there's a bit of science, there's a bit of UFOlogy in there. There's a lot. So I really hope it does align with you. But also, as I said, just to say thank you so much for everyone who has supported me, who has been there. And I look forward to the next steps. Because if this is the beginning, the rest is going to be a lot of fun. Eh? Anyway, all the links are below. Sending my love to everyone. Thank you.